Let me share my screen. Okay. So as I already discussed, so I'm just going to brief on a high level that content that we are going to cover, and along with that, whatever yesterday we had discussed. So as part of this, like we are going to have the first we had segregated into the four different modules. So as part of the first module, we are going to learn about the fundamentals of the AI and ML testing. So here, before we'll go depth, so we're going to start with a basic level understanding about so what is AI, what is ML. So here we are going. I'm going to cover much about the AI perspective, like what are the different types of the AI models available, and under AI models, so what are the different types of the AI tools are available. Like we are going to understand about the natural language processing, computer vision, so knowledge extraction, document intelligence. So these are the services we are going to learn in depth here. So with that, and also the responsible AI models as part of that, what are the how exactly we're going to build the responsible AI model. So under the and also the AI lifecycle, like the data model deployment and monitoring, how exactly these what are the cycles in designing the ML pipeline when we are building, what are the different cycles that we'll be having. So that is what we are going to cover. So here, once we're done with this session, so we will be covering with the we are going to cover the lab activity. So as part of the lab activity, so we're going to get started with the Azure AI account creation and configuration. So with this, we'll be having the different AI services we are going to create, like Q&A maker, computer vision, and from the NLP. So we'll be creating a different types of the AI models which we are going to use it for the testing. So mainly here we are going to concentrate on the Q&A maker and computer vision services. Along with that, we'll be creating like a when we are going to create a different types of the ChatGPT models, what are the different models are available, so how exactly we can create a model by using the Azure AI Foundry. So that is what we'll be learning in depth. So with that, we are going to start with the Gen AI module. So as part of the Gen AI module here, we'll be we'll be understanding what is Gen AI or when we are doing the Gen AI. So what is the how exactly we can use the Gen AI as a test engineer? What is the perspective? So with that, we'll be learning about the Gen AI and AI agents. So in the software testing, which are all the areas that we can try to use this Gen AI. And with that, we are going to have the functional testing of the Gen AI and also the uh, whatever the chat GPT model that we are going to use. So we'll be creating a we are going to have we'll be having multiple different models. So when we are going to design the chat GPT, so we are going to pick one multi-model and one single model, like based on the outcome that we can expect from this model. So we can create a multi-model also, we can create a single model ChatGPT kind of application also. We'll be creating two different models. So wherein we are going to test that particular model which we are going to design. So with this, we'll be starting with the prompt engineering. So as part of the prompt engineering, we are going to learn few prompting framework. So here, so ICED TO framework we are going to use, and here we'll be learning more about how exactly we can create a effective prompt and how what are the different techniques that we can use it in the prompt creation, and also in depth we are going to learn about the prompting and how this prompting techniques we can use it for our testing scenarios. So that is what we'll be uh, learning more in depth. So then on a high level, we are going to understand the LLMs. So how, what exactly LLM, how it is going to work. And so wherein we are going to how exactly we can use the LLM models training and the fine tuning. And then we are going to use this LLM in our automation scripts creation workflow. So these are the high level the content that we are going to cover. So during the testing, whatever after the session, so here I'll be giving you on these particular concepts when we are going to cover. So we are going to have the uh, like more we are going to work on the lab activities. So with that lab activities, the content, the scenarios we are going to understand, like we are going to take the business kind of a scenarios, like based on that scenarios we are going to perform the lab activity. So wherein so that after each activity you will be getting the quiz form. So as part of the session, majorly we had planned this session for 30 hours, and in that 30 hours, like each session which you are going to do, so will be a recorded session. So I'm going to upload that into the drive, and then you will be getting the quiz after each module that I'm going to cover. And after the completion of the 50% of the course, so you will be getting whenever if you are trying for the job change, or if you wanted to add this into your resume, so I'll be giving the points which you can add based on your experience. I mean, you're learning how actively you're going to perform on the lab activities. So then you're going to get the mock interviews also. If you are prepared, so you can start taking the mock interviews as well. Okay. Uh, so with that, I'm going to start with the AI testing model. As I already told, so I'm just going to brief you about first the so we can get the as we discussed, so we can get this AI services. We can try to create either from the cloud platform also, or else will be different cloud platforms provides different types of the AI services and the testing tools also. Here, so if we'll be playing mostly about mostly from the Azure portal itself. So to get the configurations of the Azure portal, so we should first get the free subscriptions of the Azure portal. So for that, you can try to log into the portal.azure.com. So once you log into the portal.azure.com, you will be getting to sign up. So you have to sign up with your credentials. So as soon as you sign up, for first month, you will be getting a free credentials. Like 1 month you will be getting 200 credit points, and you can try to utilize that credit points for service creation. So here if we go into the resources, we can find all the ML and the AI apps services which are all present as part of the Azure. So we can try to create these services from this means from this Azure portal itself. To create different services, it is going to give us a different like we'll be getting a different studios, like computer studio, vision studio, and for Azure AI foundry, like that we can try to play around that services to create our services which are required for our testing. And also if you wanted to because whenever we are using this cloud platform resources, we have to pay for that. So to avoid the billing, so there is an option to create certain services via the sandbox also. So Azure provides the sandbox service also. So by using that sandbox, by activating that sandbox, you can create the services for 1 hour without charging. Like as part of the learning, you can try to play around with that particular services. So I'll be sharing you the documentation on how exactly you can try to activate that services. Okay. So with that, I'm going to start with the basic content. Here we are going to learn. So first, I'm going to start with the very basic AI concepts. So here, when we start as okay, what is AI? Or why exactly how the AI services are different from the complete web application. So here we can see whenever we talk about the AI, so it is the same application which is designed as the web application, but this application is going to behave as a human, and this will be having a capabilities that how human is going to think about. But how exactly these characteristics or this nature we can find with the AI tools is, so whenever we are writing any kind of the web application, so we are going to just write down the logic, and based on the logic, like example I can say we wanted to allow certain users, if they are like just whenever we are writing a web application, we are going to add a logic and condition. So if this condition is true, just get in, or else so you should not get in. So this like based on the conditions and logics, we are going to build most of the applications, we are going to be building it, designing it. But when it comes to the AI on the back end, so to make a certain decisions, to take certain call, we are going to do the training first. So we are going to play around with the data. So we'll be getting a large set of the data. So by with data, we are going to train our software which we are going to develop, so that based on the previous large data which it is going to have, and how the decision has to be taken, so for that reason we are going to apply different techniques. So with that, we are going to get the output by which is like it's like example how our brain will take the decision, like based on the previous past experiences, we are going to analyze and we are going to take the decision. So in the same way, based on the previous data which it is which we are going to train the AI models, so accordingly the whenever we are working with the AI tools, the decisions are going to be taken. And when we talk about the AI, it is going to have a different key components within the AI. So that is like a machine learning. So wherein it is one of the sub wing of the AI. So this is the one, machine learning is the process via which we are going to teach a computer model how exactly it has to do the prediction and come to the conclusion. So this is kind of a pipeline which we are going to set up to work how my model should do. So there are certain, when we say about the AI tools or services, there are certain tools already present in the market which are already ready to use it. And when I'll be having my own custom requirements, so at that time I can start creating my own AI model. So for that we should start from the scratch, from the beginning, from the by creating the machine learning model. Then we have the computer vision. So as part of the computer vision, so like here we are going to, what are all the visual features are there, like example we can take the uh, text, we can take the images, or we can take the videos. So with that I wanted to do the analysis. So during that time, so this vision, computer vision services which we are going to use it, so that will be having a interpretation skills on the different cameras, videos, or the images which we are going to submit. So like example, let's assume I had given the certain image, I wanted to analyze that particular image, like how many persons are there, and by seeing that image I wanted to do the face detection, by seeing that image I wanted to do the object detection. So like that, we will be having various business or various requirements, so accordingly we can try to use this computer vision services. Then we'll be using the NLP. So as part of the NLP, it will be having the it is going to interpret the written and the spoken languages. Like example, I have already the audio, so wherein I wanted to convert that into the from one language to another language, and I wanted to do the summarization from that particular audio. Or I have a text, okay, of 3 pages, I wanted to summarize it in the 10 lines. So in that way, when we wanted to interpret and get the outcome from the text files or the audio files, so during that time we can use the NLP services. So like we have a document intelligence and knowledge mining. So these two services similar, like wherein they'll play a major area when we are going to deal with the processing of the large volumes of the data. If I wanted to uh, analyze the large volumes of the data, or if I wanted to extract the data from the certain unstructured data format, so then we can use this services. So then we have the very important, the blooming one, so the Gen AI. So this is going to have the uh, wherein this is this is going to include all the NLP and vision services integrated. So here we are going to have the different types of the models which wherein it is going to we can use it to build ChatGPT kind of the applications. So it is going to create wherein it's like it is going to create a content, and it's going to be it's based on the business different scenarios we can try to build this Gen AI models. So when we talk about the types of the AI, so basically we'll be having two types. One is like a strong AI, and super AI, like weak AI or narrow AI, strong AI, super AI, like that. So when we talk about the weak AI, so it's like kind of this is just has been started, like kind of it is going to perform a single task at a time. It's not able to perform multiple tasks. Like by using these AI tools, we are not able to perform multiple tasks together. Then we have a strong AI wherein so it is going to match human intelligence broadly, like it can perform multiple tasks as human together. Then we have a super AI. So this is like a kind of the building process. So still we are not able to see in the market. Like this is kind of a wherein just with the instruction or just with the based on the previous experiences are the new challenges which we are going to get. So it's like it has to use its intelligence, and it has to take the decisions, and it should start working on that. So like if I wanted to take an example for this, let's assume I'm just I in my application I just wanted to perform one particular task. So at that time I can go with the like whatever the AI tools, like example, I'm calling one API, which is it will only convert from the text one language into another language. And like I can take a kind of a uh, ChatGPT kind of an application. So wherein it can address all your queries from the different domains, we can take it up. And also when we say super AI kind of, if we are going to have a car, if you are going to design with this AI model, so if it's driving based on the instruction, if there is any obstacles also, so even though if you provide the instructions, so it has to like it should able during certain unpredicted scenarios, it should able to inform and take its own decisions also. Like it so it's like it, as I told, it should surpass the human abilities which already it is going to have. So when we talk about the AI, so basically we'll be using AI most on the prediction and the forecasting also. So when we say prediction or the forecasting, like example, as we are training, developing these AI models mainly on the data. Like example, if I wanted to forecast something, like we can say weather forecasting we'll be using, okay, and also if I wanted to detect something unusual like anomaly detection, when we wanted to do certain if technical glitches are there, so prior only I wanted to get the notification. So in that scenarios we can try to use this AIs mainly. So then we are going to have the machine learning. So when we say about the machine learning, so as I already, this is going to have a different stages. So here, if I'm going to use the uh, Azure, so we can use the Azure Machine Learning Studio. So here, by using this Machine Learning Studio, we can try to create the different ML pipelines. Let me go to here. So So I wanted to enter into this ML Studio. So for that, I'm going to I have to create a workspace first in the Azure. So then it is going to give us the workspace for us to create where exactly we can try to create our own ML pipelines. So here I'll be showing you the ML Studio, how it looks and what are the different components that will be present as part of the ML Studio. So here mainly we are going to talk the AI versus ML versus deep learning. As you are going to see the image, so we'll be having the AI, so which is a broad discipline. So within AI, so we're going to have the ML, like, so if I wanted to design the AI model, so we have to create a machine learning model. So on top of that, we can try to run that service as an endpoint where it can act as the AI tool. And internally, uh, so here machine learning, when we say this is going to learn by themselves based on the data. So we are going to input the data, that data will be processed, means we can use that data for training, and we will be testing that whether after training that model is going to give the expected output or not. And after that only we are going to get the out we are going to deploy that ML model, so that whether it is going to and it will start running that particular ML model. And internally in so when we get into the ML model, so we are going to have the subset as the deep learning. Okay, so a subset of ML, so it is based on the artificial neural networks. Okay, so like whenever we'll be having a multiple complex data, so in processing that data relationship, so we'll be using the deep learning by default inside the ML, which we are going to use it. This is the major how different AI, ML, and the deep learning. So let me see. So here the service is being created in the East US region. So here workspace has been created as AI testing demo. Okay, so now I can launch this. So without that also I can launch directly ML Studio, but I have to, if I have the resource, then only I can see how the workspace looks like. Okay, so here where we can try to create different ML pipelines. So first thing we can see the different modules inside, like we'll be having a uh, yeah, so here where I can see my workspace. First, for learning purpose, how this ML pipelines works also we can see here. If you get into that AI testing demo, if you can see. So here, first thing, model catalogs to build, and for authoring, we can do notebooks, automated ML, designer, prompt flow, and these are the assets which we are going to use. And these are the to manage that resources which we are doing. So here where we can do it. Okay, so here majorly if I wanted to build my machine learning pipeline from the scratch, okay, I don't want to take the any of the AI tool already which is present. I wanted to build my own AI model from the scratch, so I can start with the designer. So here for designing the uh, ML pipeline, we can use both automated ML also, and we can use the designer also. So here we can try to build our own classic uh, pipeline. So for that, so we should, if we are creating our own, we should have the data set also. So wherein to set up the data sets, like I can just go here with the, I can create my own data also, or else within this designer only, whenever I'll be creating these kinds of the models, if I'll be creating this kind of a model, I'll be getting the different types of the data sets. So wherein I can try to get that particular data sources, which format that I want the data. So everything I can try to define and get it. You can see here, see these are the different components. Let's assume that I don't have my own data set. I wanted to use this data set like exam. These are certain types of the data sets. So that is where whenever we are playing with any kind of the AI tools, so there are different areas where exactly we'll be having a control. The first, if it is a any kind of the pipeline which has been set up from the scratch, the first is like where exactly it's been designed, how it is been designed, what data set it is been, what is the uh, like different uh, flow that we had been used, models that we had been used in designing that model. And if it is an API, so how exactly you are, where exactly you created that API. So what is the backend architecture you are calling as an endpoint, and also what are the restrictions that we are going to have for that. Okay. So here you can see these are the different data sets. Like example, I wanted to do the so adult citizens income binary classification data set. Okay, I wanted to use this. Okay, uh, automobile price data I wanted to use. Like which kind of a sample data I wanted to use, so I can try to use that particular data in designing the ML model. So by selecting here, I can keep adding each step. Okay, how exactly I wanted to build our AI model. So once I do this AI model is done, so I can try to deploy that model also, and I have to save this. If I so there is different steps which we have to follow for designing this ML pipeline to design. So I can try to do it. But I don't have uh, I don't want to take much pressure on designing my own model. So I just wanted to I can wanted to create a quicker like so automated ML train and find the best model. Already certain models are there, okay, designed models are there. So I just wanted to take that model and train with the sample data I'm specifying. So during that time, rather than going with a designer, so I can try to do the automated ML model itself. Like, so we are going to play around these services. Okay, how exactly we can design the model, how to create it, how to set up it, and all. So this is one area. And another area, like let's assume I was talking about the NLP services, computer vision services, and also document intelligence. So for that, here I have to create a service called Azure AI service. So here, just a simple difference is we are going to get these services under an umbrella as Azure AI services. So that so it's like a simple logic behind that. You can when your application wants only one service, so at that time you can go to this Azure portal and you can try to create the so we can try to create only one service. Okay, let's assume that I wanted to create once 1 minute. Let me duplicate this tab. I'll just show you the difference. So here I wanted to create a service called computer vision. So under computer vision, we have multiple services that I can use, APIs, endpoints, which I can try to use it. Here it is going to ask only the computer vision service. Okay. When I have a requirement of taking only one service, AI service, I can go ahead with that. But I want my application demands multiple services. So I wanted to create a computer vision, NLP services, document intelligence also. So during that time, rather than creating one so individual services multiple time and maintaining that, because if I wanted to, so these are services already available. So I can directly utilize, we can directly utilize this. It's going to each service when we are creating, it will create an endpoint. So by calling that endpoint, like kind of as an API, I can use it in our application itself, integrate into our application itself. So there, what exactly we have to do is we are going to we can create it under Azure AI services, and I can use multiple AI services with one single endpoint and a key. Okay, this is a small difference which Azure has to save the billing or monitor the billing of multiple AI services under one umbrella. Okay. So here I already created the AZ resources resource group. So I'll be briefing you one day. So what are all these basic concepts, like what is resource group? So what is the small things which are there? So I'm going to explain you that in the coming sessions. So here I'm just give it as a AZ AI services demo. So here I want a pricing tier as of now. I don't. If you have a free tier first time when you are creating, you can go for that. After your free tier, if you had been utilized, so I have to use the standard one, which is going to give the billing, which I can try to get. Okay, so with that we can try to. I'm going to choose the default options at this moment. So this is going to deploy the service which we have want. So see here, if I can see, I can create language services, speech services, vision services, document intelligence, like that multiple services. Like if I want to play more with the vision services, so I can just try to use this service and we can try to use it. So under vision services, we'll be having a, I can log into the Vision Studio and I can create that subscription. So wherein I can see all the services which are there. So this is the Azure Vision Studio. So here first thing I have to so here I need to make sure that whether my credentials are there and also the directories, which directory it has been created. Okay, so under settings, yeah, so here, yeah, it has created the Azure AI demo new. So this is a service which had been created. Now as that under that service we can try to create a different AI services. I can use it if I wanted to use the liveness detection. Okay, portrait and photo ID matching, detect faces in the image. So this is more about the Azure AI face APIs if I wanted to call. Okay, so then I wanted to use related to the, let's go to the AI. I'm sorry. So here, this is the resource. So if I wanted to build the custom models also, we can try to build the custom models also. Or if I wanted to use the already existing resources also, we can try to use it. So these are more related to the Azure AI face services. Uh, So in the same way, so if I wanted to create, I have not created this service. Okay, if I want, I can create it. So I can see bot services. Like I wanted to build a bot which is going to respond to your all the queries. Like example, I can say Q&A bot. So here, if I wanted to build a Q&A bot, what I can do is I can try to create a service. So once I create a service, here we can see different bot types which I can try to use it. So because here in the Azure, we can even use the third party tools also. So we can just try to create and we can try to use that services. So I'm going to use, let me create So here also we can use ML, machine learning. And let me create a translator, the language service. So here when we are using the language services, basically we can I mean here internally it is using NLP. So here it is going to do, we can even build a custom answering, custom question answering. Here like example, it is going to use the Azure AI search. So we are going to have the all the questions and answers that we are going to get accordingly it is going to build. So in this way, we can try to create multiple services and we have to play around with that services, how it is going to work. Okay. Uh, yeah. So if you wanted to, as already you guys are knowing, like this is a cloud platform which I'm going to use. So this is, we are going to get the billing for that. So for that reason,
మరి వాడు అంత ఫుల్ మెజారిటీతో వచ్చిందండి. ఐ డోంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ వై
can you please
పీపుల్
mute?
రిజెక్టెడ్.
Okay. So here to avoid the billing as I already discussed. So here how Azure is work, it's going to have the subscription. So under the subscriptions which we are going to have, so we are going to have the resource groups and then the resources. Like here we can see there are two different subscriptions which are there. So both are different. I have to see under which subscription this resource has been created. So if I go here, I can see the resource groups which are present. So AZ resources, if you get into that, you can see the different, these are the services that we had been created today. Okay. And also when this is going to create a storage account also, let it be there, keyword also. These are different kinds of services which had been created. Okay. So what exactly we can do is, so once we are done with the service creations and all, so we have to delete this resource group. Okay. Then once we delete this resource group, we will avoid the billing because these cloud platforms, the charges will be like based on hours, based on minutes that service is running on the cloud. So that as soon as you are done with the practice, if you're going to delete it, so you can avoid getting billed. If you are going to get the bill also, you can go to this if you wanted to see, okay, if you wanted to analyze the expected bills, so you can get into this. So these are the uh, what teaching today. These are the very very basic prerequisites which you will be having a understanding, so that you can play around with these tools and you can learn about how exactly you can work with that particular tools. Okay, so here I don't have any billing. So if I wanted to check the custom billing also, I can try to check it. So here where you will be getting what are the resources that you're going to create, so how much charges it is going to occur. So this is based on the service step we are creating, this is based on which location you're going to create, this is based on the resource group which you're going to create. Okay, so with that, so this is going to be, this resource is deleting. So once this resource is deleted, like you can avoid the billing for the same thing. Okay. So this is where exactly the I had mentioned different computer vision services which we are going to play around, and also different uh, kind of the NLP services that we can try to use, and what are the different applications where and all we are using the NLP services, and also where exactly we'll be using the document intelligence, what are the different services are there, and in the same way the knowledge mining as well. Okay, this I had created to give you a broad understanding about the different AI services that we are going to use. Okay, this is for the GenAI. So when it comes to GenAI, we can go with the Azure OpenAI services. We are going to play around with that. So here to create a GenAI, there's a service called Azure AI Foundry. So we can try to go get into that Foundry and we can try to create a different types of the models over there. So here, if you can see here, let me go here. So I'm going to create an Azure AI Foundry. So here basically it has to have the hub project and everything, then only you can play around with this services. Here we don't have the project. If we create a project, then we can see the hub. So I'll just show you how exactly ChatGPT has models has been built under this directory. So I don't have any project, so I have to create a simple project. So as a Azure AI foundry resource, I'm going to create it. I'm going to take the default one. So once that is going to set up, later we can create like kind of we can create an endpoint to build any kind of the Gen AI models. Like let it complete. So I'll just show you different models types which are there. So how exactly you can play around with that. So that so going further, we'll be playing more like we are going to work on this ML uh, ML pipelines. So designing the ML pipelines and testing scope of that ML pipelines, and also the different AI services like under Azure AI service which we had been created, like vision service, NLP service, and the document intelligence and knowledge extraction. So so knowledge mining. So with these areas we are going to create a services and play around with that services also. And after this GenAI model, like example, you can see we can see here we can build and customize our own agents also to perform the specific task that we are expecting that agent to perform. And again, we can do the fine tuning and different templates, and also we can try to create different types of the models we can create. So here you can see I can use the different models which are already present, or also we can do the fine tuning of the models as well. So here these are we can see different models which are present, like so GPT 4.1, GPT 4 uh, mini T, and also specific to the images we can see doll E3. Okay, so these are the different models which are present in the backend. So based on our requirements we can use this models and we can try to deploy that particular model. So these are the major three areas which we are going to work around in the first module. Okay, so I'll just stop it here.